Painful reality hitting drivers across the country. Those soaring gas prices, now the highest they've ever been at this time of year.
If you're fueling up this holiday weekend, it could cost more than you're used to. That's because gas prices have never been higher this time of year.
David, gas prices have been rising quickly in recent weeks, and now take a look at this. More than $4 a gallon here. These are the highest prices we have ever seen this time of year. Drivers may be paying more per gallon than they have ever paid. $4.60 in Atlanta, $4.85 in San Francisco, and in Chicago, a few pennies shy of $5.
Just taken back by it.
They're going to keep going up, keep going up.
There is nowhere to go but up and up and up.
I'm watching my money dwindle.
Watch those numbers click away.
Breaking me. It's breaking me. I pay bills, and it's just breaking me.
Have you ever noticed that every year, the fuel economy of our cars across all makes and models have steadily grown higher alongside gas prices? Have you ever wondered how we can put a man on the moon and we can build complex telescopes to look off into far-off galaxies way beyond our grasp? Yet we still lack the technology to get better gas mileage for our cars. Or do we? What if one day someone told you that all of the major oil problems to the environment and the economy were solved over 30 years ago? What if that day was today? Following the oil crisis in the 70s, a young mechanic by the name of Tom Ogle made newspapers for his invention of a water-injected carburetor that could get over 100 miles per gallon. Tom was contacted by gas companies to sell his invention with the stipulation that he could not make any more of his injectors. He refused, and soon after he was reported to have gotten 200 miles off of 2 gallons of gas. Shortly after attaining this jaw-dropping feat, Tom died of a sudden questionable death. Tom was able to find a company to patent his invention. However, after his death, Tom's car, along with his invention that could have possibly changed the world as we know it today, was never seen again.
In 1977, the book Fuel Economy of the Gasoline Engine, which was published by the Shell Oil Company, documents that Shell scientists were able to achieve 149.95 miles per gallon on a 1947 Studebaker. This book is out of print and has disappeared from the Library of Congress. Here are the pages. The Shell Oil Company would not talk to the filmmakers, but in February of 2007, they were able to interview a retired Shell scientist living in England.
My name is David Blackmore, and I worked for quite some years in Shell Research. I edited the book called Fuel Economy of the Gasoline Engine. And we normally would test our fuels in real or sometimes prototype vehicles and engines that we would have contact with the motor industry, the motor manufacturers. It began in one form or another 60 years ago, just before World War II, 1939.
A race to see how much gasoline we need to run our car 1/4 of a mile.
During the first vehicle just before the war, I think that particular one was in fact a converted vehicle from a road vehicle at the time, and I think that first one was something like 49, 50 miles per US gallon. When the specials began, it was they managed to get into the hundreds of miles per gallon, but there was still some quite excitement in a few years before the 1,000 mile per gallon barrier was broken, which I think didn't happen until the late 1970s.
Please, somebody describe in detail how the price of oil is set. Are you rigging the price of oil, or is somebody rigging the price? Who chooses to answer the question first? No volunteers. We'll go the way we started. Mr. Raymond.
I'll volunteer.
Thank you. That's called an involuntary volunteerism. Tell me, from the time it comes out of the ground, how is the price set?
The price is set on the world market by willing buyers and sellers as to what willing sellers are willing to sell it for and willing buyers are willing to pay for it.
But